What is up, guys? It is DMG here, and today we're going to be looking at one of the most overpowered strikers in FIFA 18 thus far, and that is none other than Divock or Regi. Now on the screen I'm going to be showing some highlights and his attributes as well, but he is actually going to be the new Embolo. That's what I think. He is going to be the new Embolo because this year Embolo got downgraded a decent amount, not necessarily with all of his stats, but he doesn't have high-medium work rates anymore. He has medium-medium. He doesn't have 4-star skills anymore, and he got a pretty big pace decrease as well. I mean, -6, that's actually not great. You know, that's a pretty big decrease. Shooting-wise, I think it's pretty similar. I think it went down maybe 1 or so, but again, the pace is pretty bad. Work rates aren't, you know, that's not a huge thing, but you know, it's, you know, like medium is obviously worse than high medium for a striker, and then the lack of 4-star skills is pretty big. So I did have to look elsewhere, and I landed on Divock or Regi, who again looks to be like the new Embolo, because if you compare him to last year's Embolo, 4-star skills, 6'1", high medium, good pace, good strength, pretty much identical cards. Pretty much identical cards. The only difference is Divock or Regi has 3-star weak foot instead of 4, which admittedly isn't that great. You know, it's not something that you actively search to avoid if you're shooting with it, but you know, you obviously want it on that right foot of his. But you know, besides that, his card looks amazing. If he gets an inform, it will be just as good as the one to watch Embolo from FIFA 17. Now, I don't know if it will be as like overpowered as one to watch Embolo from last year, but in terms of just stats, it's going to be pretty much identical. It's going to be nearly identical. So, you know, like I said, Divock or Regi is going to be the new Embolo of FIFA 18. So the thing that makes him so overpowered is that combination of physicality, you know, that strength, that height, and that pace, right? So 83 pace, that's pretty good, but combine that with, you know, his 82 strength, that 6'1" height of his, so that big frame, you know, that's a great combination, because usually only like the guys that are fast, like Mertens, or, you know, Messi or something like that, those guys are obviously going to be, you know, like smaller, like typically that's what happens. And then the guys who are bigger, like Bas Dost, those guys are going to be, you know, slower. They're not going to have skill moves, but Origi again has that combination. And, you know, he can finish, you know, decently well, actually very, very well. But I mean, to be fair, so can pretty much every other player in FIFA 18. It's not that hard to score goals. All you have to do is just shoot the ball and it's going to go in the back of the net. So as long as you have like a striker who has more than, what, 70 shooting, you're going to be fine. He has like 75, 76, 77, 78 shooting, I'm not quite sure. But, you know, his shooting is good. Like 80 finishing, 80 shot power, 80 attacking position. You know, you can put a chem style on that and up that as well. So, you know, his finishing and shooting is fine. But then that combination of pace, combination of physicality, and that frame of his, which is, you know, 6'1", high medium work rates as well, it's just beautiful. It's just fantastic. So again, that does remind me of a bit like Embolo from last year. Now, he also does, again, have the 4-star skills, which is really nice. So there is one clip in there, I don't know where it is, but there is one clip where I burb spin with him like 3 times in a row, and it gets past people. And, you know, Embolo couldn't do that because he has only 3-star skills this year. Embolo can't burb a spin, so he would not have been able to do that. Would he have been able to finish? Probably. I'm not going to say he wouldn't have, but, you know, he just getting that position, getting to that, you know, position where he could shoot, that wouldn't have happened because of that lack of skills. So now, individually, I'm going to kind of look at kind of like the pace and the physicality, because, you know, combined they're amazing, but, you know, just individually they're also really nice. So pace-wise, you know, it's just nice to have fast players, right? And I'm not sure what his acceleration and his sprint speed actually are, but I mean, I think his sprint speed is a little bit more, but it feels like his acceleration is just fantastic. And from what I've noticed this year in FIFA 18, acceleration is more important than sprint speed, at least when you're on the attack, because when you can break away faster, then you're gonna get past all the defenders who aren't, you know, 90+ pace or anything like that. So if you're up against a center back with 70 pace and Origi can get past him, he's just gonna hold him up, because the sprint speed's decent enough where he can, you know, maintain that lead, but that acceleration is what's gonna, you know, make that gap very, very wide initially. And then that physicality, you know, he could just hold them off initially. So if there is a center back who's decently strong, he can hold them off again with that 6'1" frame of his, with that 82 strength, and he can just kind of hold it, pass it off as well. Now, there was actually only 1 assist that he got in kind of like the clips that I showed, but, you know, after that, when I just kind of got all the clips together, he had more assists. He had, I think, he ended up with like 5 assists in like the 2 or 3 games after that, And, you know, again, same amount of goals, pretty much. Like, I'm pretty sure he scored hat tricks in like 2 of the 5 or 6 games that I showed. So, you know, he's deadly in front of goal. And again, the dribbling or the pace and the physicality is really nice, but that dribbling is really, really nice because it's just so powerful with that, because he can scoop turn and then just blast straight away. With that acceleration and with that strength, he can hold people off. So there's no way anyone's going to catch him. And if they do, you know, if they have that 90 pace, he's just going to body him off. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Now, if you guys have noticed any other overpowered players, let me know and I'll definitely try them out to see if they actually are overpowered and, you know, see how overpowered they are. But like I said, that's going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been DMG. Peace.